Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about construction phase of the life cycle. As we discussed in the early, there are four main life cycle phases are there. One, inception. Second, elaboration. Third one is construction. Last one is transition. Now we are in third phase. During third phase, the main activity, the main uh, work is coding. Coding is nothing but writing source program, writing modules for the architecture. Okay, good. So, in this construction phase, particularly more number of teams will join because the coding activity is done by different teams, and each and every project, if it is a small scale project, at least 4 or 5 teams are going to join involved. But in case of large project, maybe 10 to 15 kinds of teams are join. They will join in the work. Each team consists 4 or 5 developers and headed by one project leader called as team leader TL. Under the team leader, inside the members, they will do the coding. All team managers or all team leaders are controlled by project manager. There is another person who controls, who monitors the entire coding activity is known as project manager. Please remember the hierarchy of the construction team. There is a project manager. Project manager. Under the project manager, there may be a 4 or 5 or maybe 10 team leaders will be there. Under the team leader, 4 or 5 code coding professionals will be there. Coding staff will be there. They are called as a programmers. So they will do programming for the work assigned for them. So just imagine here the overall structure of the construction phase. So already you got my point. Here more number of people will join. So everybody has to do their work. Whatever the work assigned for them, they have to do it. So the main objective of construction phase is we need to reduce the cost because more number of people are going to join. We need to provide the work for right people. Already in the first unit, we learned about Barry Boehm's principles. Minimize the members, minimize the members, and we need to use the team members, best team members. That is called team balance. Team balance means we need to provide team balance members and we need to provide top talent. Instead of using several people, use lesser and fewer teams, those who have good skills, so that the product is going to build with a high quality and you can avoid scrap and rework. With the skilled people only it is possible. If you use more number of people, if they don't have strong knowledge, skills, so definitely the project is going to enter into risk position, risk state. To avoid that risk, we need to use better teams. So we need to avoid the cost. That is very very important. Okay. Second thing, quality at most important. The quality is possible by providing good people, good commitment people. So commitment people are very very essential. Commitment people will do the work very sincerely and automatically the code will come. The third one, achieving useful versions, alpha, beta, and other testing releases as rapidly as practical. Once the coding part finished, later it is going to integrate it. As soon as integration activity is over, then we need to go for what is called releases. Release means trial versions. trial versions, alpha, beta, trial versions. Once the trial versions success, then the product is going to deliver to the client. During trial versions, if any error or any problem is identified, then it is possible to rectify within the software company itself. So, these are main essential objectives of the construction phase. What is the first objective? As possible as we have to reduce costs by avoiding unnecessary scrap and rework. When it comes, tell me when the scrap and rework means doing the same work again and again. Doing the same work and again is called rework. Scrap means it's not at all useful. The coding not at all useful because the problem is different, the program is different. Problem is saying one type of question, but the answer is different. And in that situation, the program is called scrap. Rework means if the output or result is not perfect, then again we need to go back for doing same. That is called rework. So it leads to cost increase, schedule also increase. Next, quality is important. That already I told you. By providing good development team, it is possible. If there is no good development team, definitely the product is not become a quality one. Okay. Essential activities. The essential activities are resource management, control, and process optimization. Resource management means here you need to monitor and identify who will do this job. There are 10 requirements. Assume that there are 10 requirements. Requirement 1 developed by whom? Then the project managers, then the development top level management has to identify the resources of the people inside the software organization. So they need to identify who will implement a particular requirement. Then they need to work. They need to assign the work for them only. Then controlling and process optimization. These are very important. Then complete component development and testing against evaluation criteria. Complete component. So the components are two categories, as I already told you. One is commercial components, another one is customized components. Some of the components have to be built by the company itself. The development team has to build the components. So they need to finish all the components which are required for the problem. Then assessment of the product release against acceptance criteria of the vision. So in this case, we need to identify the releases, like product releases, like alpha, beta versions have to be planned. So once the release versions are ready, different kinds of testing methods should be applied so that the problems are going to be identified. Once the problems are identified, they can be rectified at this initial stage itself so that the product becomes quality one. Primary evaluation criteria. Is this product baseline mature enough to be deployed in the user community or not? So this is very important. Once the product is ready, whether it is suitable for client needs or not to be verified. Whether it is reaching to the needs of the user community or not. Is the product baseline stable enough to be deployed in the user community? So the product will sustain during the user transactions or not, user operations or not. Are the stakeholders ready for transition to the user community? Whether all existing users of the client may easily switch over to the new system or not. So it should be user friendly. Are actual resources expenditures versus planned expenses acceptable or not? As we discussed earlier, there are two types of expenditures: planned versus the actual expenditures. Planned expenditures are initiated during starting time. Actual resource expenditures will appear during construction phase itself. During construction phase itself, the actual cost will be identified. So we need to verify both the same or not or different. In case of the actual expenditure cross the planned expenditure, so the top level management has to think and they need to minimize the costs. Okay, that is very very important. So I will tell you one example. Planned expenditure, planned expenditure is roughly 1 lakh. During actual expenditure, maybe 1.5 lakhs. So 50,000 rupees they have to cover. They need to control in further levels. That is the essential thing you should remember. So if both are same, no problem. Otherwise, the project cost will increase. So once the cost is increased, the software management has to bear all these risks. Transition phase. The last phase of life cycle phase is transition phase. Transition phase is nothing but deployment. Deployment means delivery. Once the project is ready, it has to be converted into operational mode. Operational mode means the user has to work on this and it should be transformed to the client side is known as transition phase. Beta testing to validate the new system against user expectations. Beta testing, all testings have to be done. Then beta testing and parallel operations relative to legacy system is replaced. Previously, the client may work old system that has to be replaced by this new project. So slowly, all activities of the client operations are transformed into the new system. Then third one, conversion of operational databases. Previous transactions, previous databases, values or information should be transformed into new software, new project, training of users and maintenance. This is very very essential point you have to remember. The development team, the software organization is responsible for providing necessary training for the users, end users. Suppose the company finished the project, it should be transformed to the client. There, the users should be there. So they have to be trained properly about the new software project, about new tool. Then primary objectives, achieving user self-supportability, whether all stakeholders is completely accepted or not to be verified. So operational baseline activities are possible or not to be verified. Essential activities, synchronizing and integration of concurrent construction increments into consistent deployment baseline. As I told you, this is new software project. Previously, old version will be there. The old version activities are slightly or completely transformed into new one. Then deployment specific engineering. All deployment activities are called nothing but transitions. All kinds of changeover mechanisms should be followed. So this is very very essential thing because new software just implemented by the software development team. Previously, old version will be there. So the users accustomed with the old one, they have to be transformed into new one. That is the major part of transition phase, right? Okay. So 4 life cycle phases are over. What are 4? Tell me. Tell me 4. The 4 life cycle phases are this: inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. Inception, elaboration are called engineering stage activities. Construction and transition are called production stage. I will tell you one important principle that production stage takes more time and cost also spent much on construction and transition phase only, and inception elaboration phase few people will join, only few people will take place that activity, only top level people will work in inception elaboration phase. Top level people, who are top level people? Tell me. Project managers, architects, and assessment teams. So these people will work in inception and elaboration phase. Architecture managers will be there. Architectures people will design the project. Once engineering stage is over, then the project comes into production stage. During production stage, the two phases are very very important, because more number of people will work in construction as well as transition. What will be construction phase? Coding phase, writing source programs. Good. Okay. So these are life cycle phases. What are life cycle phases? Tell me. Inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. This is about third unit part A. So third unit part A is very simple. Simply you can manage. So very very easy. Four phases we have to remember: inception, elaboration, construction, and transition phase. Inception is idea, problem identification, problem schedules, cost, etc. are identified. During elaboration phase, inside the elaboration phase, architecture plan, that is called design, analysis and design is going to done in the elaboration phase. Then construction, the main activity in the construction phase is coding, writing coding, testing, integration. These are the main works in the construction phase. Last one, transition phase, is nothing but transforming the new project into old project place or client site. For this, we have to do training and transforming old database into new one, etc. Switchover mechanisms or changeover mechanisms should be followed in the transition phase. Okay, that's all right. So this is about third unit part A. In next class, we will discuss about artifacts of the processes.